All right, in this example, we're going to actually create a class. In this case, I decided on a public class dog just to give you an example of writing a class and initializing its attributes in the constructor. So I'm going to start off in this public class dog, and my dog is going to have a name. So private string name. Perhaps I'm also interested in its breed. That might be a string as well. And I want to know what kind of voice it has. So that's also going to be a string. So I have 3 strings, and then we'll get one int, which will be its volume, for lack of a better term. All right, so we could have our basic dog, so public dog. So this is our constructor again. So, and in this constructor, perhaps all we ask you to send is the name and the breed, but they're not ints, they're strings. So string n and string b. And I want you to see how this goes. So the user creates a dog and they send the name n. That gets assigned to name up here. So we're going to simply say name equals n. Same thing with breed. Breed equals b. Now the voice, we're going to have a default. So our voice is going to be bow wow. And our volume for our default dog is simply going to be 1. So let's just take a look at how this looks. If I were to create a dog this way, I right click here, and if I enter a string, I have to have it in quotes. So there's Rufus, and he's a beagle. And I say OK, and then if I look at this dog and inspect it, we can see that his name is Rufus. He's a beagle, and you'll notice his voice is bow wow because that was the default over here in the constructor, and his volume is 1. Now we could have another dog, perhaps, where we give all that information. So public dog string n, string b, string v. It's quite common to just use the first letter or a shortened version of the attributes up above here. And then int volume. Okay. So in this case, I just set everything. So I say name equal to n, breed equal to b. And you'll notice it's the attribute up here that is being set to what was set down here. And getting this in the right order is very important. So voice equals v and volume equals vol. If you get them the wrong way around, it doesn't work out the way you want it to. All right, now let's actually have our dog do something. So we're going to have our dog speak. So public void speak. And if we ask it to speak, we're going to say for int I equal to, or I guess it's going to be k equal to 0, k less than volume, k plus plus, and we're going to print out the voice. So whatever it says, we'll print it out that many times. And let's see, we'll want a space after that. So a space, oops. There we go, space. And then after the for loop, we want to get this on a new line. Okay, so there's my method that says speak. And then perhaps I want to know, get name. So public, if I want to get its name, I would do something like this. Public string get name, and then I would return name. Not n, notice. N was a local variable up here that's only known in this method. So I send n. What's known throughout the entire program is name, which is up here. All right, so now where this, oops, I forgot a plus sign. Where this gets interesting is to have a bunch of dogs. So let's make another class that has a bunch of dogs. So our other class is going to be called kennel. And in kennel, we're going to have, here we go, public, static, void, main, string, args, and we're going to have a bunch of dogs. Let's have 3 dogs. So let's see, let's have dog d1 equals new dog, and that can be the one we had before, Rufus, and he's we said a beagle. And we can have dog D2 equals new dog. And let's give more information. Let's make him Fido. And let's say that Fido is a retriever. Oops. I don't know how to spell retriever apparently. And let's see, what was the other information? We needed its voice, so let's say Fido says ruff ruff. And he has a volume of 3. And one last dog, dog D3 equals new dog. And his name is Frisky. And Frisky is a poodle. And our poodle says woof woof. And he has a volume of 5. He's a loud, yappy dog. All right, now we could then say, okay, D1.speak, D2.speak, and D3.speak. Now let's see how that program runs. I think that'll be fine. There we go. And when we run our kennel, there we go. We can see that Rufus said bow wow, and Fido said ruff, 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 and the poodle Frisky said woof, woof quite a few times. Now, if we wanted to know who said what, we could go in and say, let's see, system dot out dot print line, let's see, d1.getName, I think it was. Now, when I don't remember the method name, I just come over here and say, okay, what was that method name? Ah, there it is, getName. Okay, so getName. So I'm going to say d1.getName, and then I'll say d1.speak, and system.out.println d2.getName, and then system.out.println d3.getName. So now, if I look at my program, I can run my kennel class again, void main, and there we go. We have Rufus saying bow wow, Fido says ruff, 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 and Frisky says woof, woof a whole bunch of times. All right, hopefully that helps. Now, what was the whole point of this was just for you to really understand how do you initialize values in a constructor. So remember, this was public class dog right here. So our constructor had name dog. We can have just one constructor. We can have multiple ones like we do here. And then we take the name that's up here and we initialize it to the value that's sent. Or sometimes we just have a value that it gets initialized to as a default.